The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan, we're going to save the kingdom.
Gonna chase one last chicken, too.
Shall we play a game?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan. I am Joe.
Caleb Gregg.
This is Cameron.
Caleb Schweiss.
And today, me and Cameron are going to be reviewing Fable III. The finale of our Fable playthrough?
I had seen rumors of a Fable 4, so let's for now.
For now. Okay.
Yeah, you gotta do Elder Scrolls.
Well, there's that
The
Fable
other
card
Fable.
game. So there's still another
Gwent?
Fable game. No.
Fuent.
Yeah. Gwent.
It's like counting Rogue One in your Star Wars ranking, okay?
Even though it's better than half.
It's optional. And that card game might be better than one of the Fable games as well, but we'll get into that later. Craig, what have you been playing this week?
It's been a very Zelda-heavy week for me. I played some Wind Waker. Haven't touched that in a while, so I decided to go for it just because of how into Breath of the Wild I've been. Constantly been playing that thing. I streamed like 4 hours of it yesterday after finally figuring out sort of the Elgato. And then I played Mega Man and Bass, which was a lot harder than I remembered it
Mega
being.
Man and Bass?
Yeah, it was one of the few Mega Man games I haven't beaten before.
How do you know it's not Mega Man and Bass?
It's Bass.
How do you know it's Bass?
Because that's what I call him.
So no one ever says his name.
No.
So how are you sure? Mega Man and Bass sounds better than Mega Man
It probably
and Boss.
is Bass, but I like to
Mega
call him
Man and
Bass.
Is he a fish?
No, he's not.
I'm thinking it might be Bass.
It probably is. All
right, well.
But he is Bass.
So Legend of Zelda, Mega Man and Bass,
And then Legend of Zelda.
and then Legend of
Breath
Zelda
of the
as
Wild,
well.
Wind Waker, and that. Those are my Zelda games that have been
So
playing.
you didn't play the original Legend of Zelda, which we have to review in 4 weeks.
Well, I already beat that last year, technically.
But you could beat it again this year now.
Yeah, you could.
I don't know if you want to, though.
No,
Like,
I don't.
It's not a game that you just
I
play
thought-
for fun. You know?
I thought for a second about playing Zelda 2, and then I was like, "That. Why would I ever
It's okay.
think that?"
It'll be nominated later.
Jesus.
Just remember, we all nominate a game now, so don't piss anyone else in the group off.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, Craig.
I have so many games that I want you to play. So many.
I think Zelda
Oh.
2 Adventure of Link has your name on it, Craig.
It might. Who knows? But you know what? I have so many games for
Go
you.
fuck off,
Resident
Craig.
Evil 1.
That could be one, yeah. But
Awful.
I have a list.
You have like a Joe hate list. Is that what you got?
You know what, Craig?
I have a preparedness list.
You know what's on my list?
What's that?
Your kiss.
Oh,
Your kiss is on my list.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. Anyway.
I
The
thought
best
that
things
was
in life?
Lips. Man, I've been just hearing that song my whole life.
It's Kiss, you dumbass.
Wait, you thought it was what?
No, Kiss is on my lips.
Your kiss is
No,
on
it's on
my
list. Of the
like,
best
all
things in life. How does what?
I don't know.
Your kiss is on my lips of the best things in life?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Fucking why not? People are high when they write songs, Greg.
Yeah, but they make them make sense
No, they don't.
sometimes.
No.
Somebody defended
Someone
that
left
cake in
the
the
cake
rain.
out in the
song.
rain.
Someone defended that in one of our emails. I'm gonna have to get to it.
What? In one of our emails, someone defended that piece of shit song?
Yeah, they did.
Oh my god. It's like someone defending Phantom Menace.
Or Horizon Zero Dawn.
Just wait. We're going to have an email about Phantom Menace in just a minute.
Cameron, what have you been playing?
This week, I have been playing... I played a little bit of that Deus Ex.
Mankind Divided.
Mankind Divided.
Oh, yeah? How's
You
that?
like?
It's interesting. Yeah, I like it, actually. Yeah, it's pretty good.
You probably like
Um,
the first one more.
Do you just like this one?
Well, no, this one's fine. It's just that the first one sets up a lot in the second one, and starting it like without playing that first one would be a little confusing.
Would he
Do
like
you
it-
understand what's going on?
Yeah,
Or-
I'm understand. I mean, there was like maybe a 30-minute cutscene in front of it, so kind of laying down what happened before. So
Yeah, okay.
Would he like it more?
Maybe.
So, Craig, have you played?
Why you gotta add the accent?
You did it.
Have you
You
played
did it.
Dishonored
You go.
before,
I didn't
Cameron?
know
Would
such
you
thing.
would you like it more than the other one? I was like, whoa,
was a
we've
big
reached
break.
a new height for the at the end of words.
A new height, huh?
A new height there. New height there.
Height.
Height, yeah. I, of course, make fun of you for the way you speak, but I say height incorrectly. Thank you. Appreciate that. All right. So day sex.
Yep. Then Deus
about night
Ex, and
sex?
then I played a little bit of that Batman Telltale. I only played through the first episode, and I'm like, this is kind of dumb. I don't want to play this anymore.
Is it dumb? Why is it dumb?
Because it's just I'm just sitting here watching basically an episode of Batman, and I get to either make him asshole or make him, I don't know, kind of weak or whatever I want him to make him.
I heard the Batman one's not very good.
And
It's better than other Telltales.
played a little bit of Overwatch.
Oh yeah, I did play some of that.
How much Overwatch have you guys
This week.
clocked in your lives?
I would have to look at the in-game timer thing.
I've only put maybe like in total probably I would say shy of 30 hours so far. I'd have to go add them all up.
Cameron, every time I ask you what game you've been playing this week,
It's not like I'm playing.
Overwatch is on there and has been on there for a year and a
more
half.
than 30
Okay,
hours.
I'll go check. It's either 30 to 40 hours in that range.
Do they clock it?
Yeah. Well, they clock you per hero. How long you've played as each
Well,
hero.
they also have an overall time.
And then we played some Ghost Recon Wildlands. And so Ghost Recon
yeah.
Wildlands, they've added a bonus story mission with the last update called Jungle Moved or something like that. And basically what it is, a predator has crashed into the jungle of Colombia, and you and your team have to go find the predator and kill him. And
So it's like the Predator.
the
Yeah.
predator.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
it's fucking nuts. He will destroy you.
Me and my roommate tried it about 10, 12 times, and we gave up. Then we added Craig to party, and we tried another 10 to 12 times, and then gave up and played
So you
Overwatch.
just had the meat shield, Craig.
Dude, this thing is crazy. Like, he has homing laser blasts. It's ridiculous.
It's like homing grenade
And you
things
can't-
and his drone thing that
when
he
he goes
shoots up and
invisible,
stuff.
like, you can't shoot him like half the time. Even if you see where he is while he's invisible, you can't shoot
that's
him
not
unless he like
canon at all.
reappears.
No, you can
Reappears,
shoot him. You can
yeah.
shoot him.
Well, at certain
Craig's just
times you
blind.
can, but no, like
Oh,
you
that
can
too.
see
It
him.
all looks like Invisible Predator whenever he looks at anything.
No, you can see him kind of, but like you can't always shoot at him when he's invisible. Like it just like won't accept the bullets.
Oh man,
I would
And then-
probably not accept him either.
Yeah, I don't accept these
I
bullets.
don't accept being shot.
And so we still need to kill the predator before we can move on with that game. So it's definitely by far the hardest mission in that game so far. So
We just need to get like missile launchers.
we
Fuck
need
that Predator.
we need another person as another meat shield, because the problem is when one of your teammates go down, you try to res them. That's when the predator likes to kill you
Yeah.
as you're resing him.
You can like see his like laser sight on you, so you
3-dot
know
laser
when
sight.
he's about to fuck you, and you can't dodge it. Like, well, you can, but it's really hard, and you
What-
can't when you're trying to revive
What
someone.
if you lather yourself up in mud?
No, that's the first thing that I asked. I was like, so Cam was like,
No
yeah,
tree traps either.
you can hunt the predator. And I was like, oh, can you cover yourself in mud and kill him with a tree trap?
And Cameron's like, no, you dummy. You just get a shitload of aliens.
There you go.
Send them at him.
So basically what it is you looking every which way as fast as you can, trying to find him before he finds you. So
Does he make the little clicking noise
Yep.
too?
Yeah, he does. And you can like hear, he like can appear right behind you. And like he'll make that sound, and I was like, dude, it's pretty freaky, but it's also pretty.
and then he'll
awesome.
say back what your character said as they saw him, in his like weird predator voice, and then just
Nice. I used to be able to do that like perfectly by just like, but I can't anymore. I don't know what happened.
Does anybody want more disgusting noises they can put into the mic? Don't fucking do that shit.
Get some like mac and cheese and stir it.
Joe playing with Sasha. What?
What? Do you, Sasha's dead. Stop bringing her up.
Yeah, she's dead and buried, man.
Dude, I was moved back into my parents' house. I can't have a fake vagina lying around.
You just have it as like a pen holder. What, it keeps the pens nice and tight.
Oh,
Really
my.
holds on to him.
That thing was like
just a new wallet, man.
He was trying to rip it off your
keep your
fucking
change in
torso.
there.
that thing was a dick buster. That thing was clenched, like a. Ah, fuck! I can't even think right now. Schweiss, what have you been playing this week?
Sasha?
I can't think of anything else. A clamp.
Yeah.
It was
there
like
you
a.
go.
It's like a
Yeah, it's like when you like cut off circulation to your arm and it's all like veiny. and
very
shit.
cold clamp.
I have been playing. I played Fable 3, and I played Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and that's it for me this week. I do have a horror story on Fable 3. I don't know if I should do it now or save it.
You can do it after I tell you what the games are.
Okay.
I played The Legend of Zelda, the original NES classic, and I also played Fable 3 myself. In fact, yeah, we're reviewing it today, so you know what else happened as well. Schweiss, do you want to do it during the review? Is there a spot for you to do whatever you want to talk about?
Yeah, I can do it later.
Okay,
I can
all
do
right.
it later.
So just keep a pen in that, or keep a bookmark. I can't fucking think today. Can't do anything,
keep a
guys.
pen in it?
I had another migraine the other night. I have now sworn off energy drinks.
You got to be careful, man. If you keep saying you don't believe in these things, they're going to start happening
Oh,
to you.
I don't believe in
here's the deal.
cancer.
Here's fuck you.
I don't believe in. I don't
even
believe
funny.
in Otto Brewer syndrome.
So
It's like
I had another migraine. Every time I have a migraine, I'm groggy for the next day. But then I also have had not much sleep, so I'm just still groggy and shitty. So I cannot think straight. I cannot think of words like clamp, which is a real issue, I would say.
Does clamp come up much in your conversation?
It does when you're talking about the fucking vice grip on a novelty vagina.
yeah, dude. I totally saw one of those come through the mail the other day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like one dude like grabbed one. He was grabbing a package. He's like, "Hey," and he tosses it over to me, and it lands in my hands. It's like, and then on the front it says like "sex toy" or something like that, and I like throw it to the other guy.
In case you're wondering if the people at the post office are looking through your mail.
Yeah. Well, it was wrapped. It
In
was like
case
wrapped
you're
in a
wondering
plastic
if
bag.
anyone knows when you order,
Oh, it just
novelty
wasn't.
sex
It just
toys.
wasn't wrapped. It wasn't in a box.
No, it was in
just,
like a bag. Yeah.
It was just its rubbery.
Yeah. No.
self.
Yes. It was from China too.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I would not put my penis inside that.
Maybe they just ordered it from a friend.
Yeah, no Chinese vaginas for Schweiss.
Yeah, it's used. No, I
Maybe
can't
they were
imagine
just
like
shipping
if you
it
were.
back to the States because somebody forgot it there.
Yeah. If you were, what if you were like the mailman and you delivered this like, because you can tell when it's something like that, or like when it's a massive dildo. I bet you could probably tell. And like you're just like dropping this huge dildo off of this like housewife's fucking home, and you're like, Like, as a mailman, and like you see these people and you go by their houses all the time.
No wonder there's this stigma with the mailman visiting the wife when she's home
exactly, because the mailman knows. He knows. He's like, you don't need this.
She wants it.
Yeah.
I got a package. Deliver later.
Yeah. No, and then instead, like, she opens a little letter hole and like your dick is just in the little letter thing.
Jesus.
This could go very badly or
This just
awesomely.
in. Do not let Schweiss take a route. Do not let Schweiss take a route.
Oh, you know what's funny about that though? I just know who the pieces of shit are because I have to go to everybody's freaking door. Right?
Exactly. Yeah, you know them. Yeah.
I just know who's the one likely to have like someone locked in their basement.
The one that just orders food. And
yeah, they just order
and
everything.
they have like super dark curtains. You
the
can't see anything.
shittier they are, the more shit they're going to order.
Well, it's weird because like sometimes, like I looked at Amazon's.
Unless they have like a business or something.
Yeah, I looked at Amazon's like pantry thing, and I was like, oh, this could be cool. And I looked at like Coke, and I was like, this is way too expensive to be just like ordering willy nilly. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I'm
pantry.
like, I'm not going to
Fuck
be ordering
that.
groceries when I can just get them cheaper at Walmart.
yeah, it's like maybe one day when Amazon finally
And
takes
you
over.
know what? If
They'll
you're
just take
lazy,
over the
if
United
you are
States.
lazy enough, you can go on to Walmart.com, order all the groceries you want, and pay for them, and drive up, and then someone will just drop them off in your
Yeah.
car. And
We've
you
totally
drive
done
away.
that.
So I don't see where the
pretty
lure
awesome.
to order groceries online is just yet. The
Yeah,
price
especially if
isn't
they're
there.
going to be doing shit like that.
I mean, maybe as soon as they get their Amazon drones up and running, and you need like some ingredients, the drone drops it off in 30 minutes. That'd be cool.
Yeah, dude. One of the guys at my work thinks that Amazon is going to start like trying to compete with the post office because of where their distribution centers are. And I was thinking about it, and I was like, they might be able to do something like that. Like they can't do the drone thing; that'd be fucking retarded. But like, get your own little drone for your house.
Well, they're competing with other shipment companies
Yeah.
because they're adding their own shipments, and then so they'd have more companies putting out their shit.
Yeah, but I wonder if they are going to go full hog on it. Because they
They
might.
could.
I
have
doubt
the-
it. I don't think they can match the post office.
I mean, they started out as
price.
a bookstore.
That's because the post office doesn't make money.
I know.
But yeah, that is true. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I don't want to ship through anyone else because USPS is too cheap.
Yeah, it is.
But okay, so a Godzilla toy I had to ship to
Not a sausage roll.
To
Sashazilla.
Great Britain because they won something. Someone won something for the Godzilla podcast. I went to FedEx first because it was just close, and then
Brutal.
it was $105
Yeah.
to ship it to Great Britain.
Yeah,
Guess how much the post office was?
like 15.
$35.
Oh, okay.
Do you see the price difference?
Yeah, well, that's because Congress controls the pricing for the post office,
Yeah.
and they don't want anything to go up because they still mail shit because they're all old.
It's horrible.
Want that birthday card for Susie? You can't be raising by postage. Although I'm pretty sure they are actually, but not by.
I thought that there's a progression that they have set out of how much postage is going to increase.
I think they might, yeah, because
So
it
it
is
It might
planned.
have to do with like inflation.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
have planned increases, but I don't mail letters, so I don't fucking pay attention to that. I just
Except we have been mailing shit all the time.
that is true. Yeah, mostly not letters though.
Including someone did ask for some Nude Clan stickers.
Oh, nice. We
Yeah.
got to send those out.
Gotta send some more out.
The deal with Nude Clan stickers is you got to take a picture where you put.
You have, yeah, you do, and I haven't gotten very many pictures. We got a couple.
Oh man, I so one of the guys. Speaking of pictures, one of the guys ordered a thong for his wife from the old store, and he messaged me on
Cafe Press.
Yeah, on Cafe Press, and he
Still
messaged
available,
me on
by
PSN.
the
He's
way.
like, "You want to pick when we get it?" And I was like, "You know it." And so now the thought I have now is like. I was like, now we'll always be in your thoughts right before you remove your wife's underwear with your teeth. You'll be thinking Nude Clan.
Do you even nude,
Assuming
bro? Oh, I nude.
Assuming she wears it.
Yeah.
Because it looks pretty stiff, honestly. It looks like a not cozy.
Well, that's why I was like, it was on Twitter, yeah, and my response was like, you
just
got to break it in first.
Go wash it in with some fabric softener. It'll be just fine. Don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
God,
So that was pretty funny.
it was pretty
And
great.
then I saw the picture and I was like, oh, wow, yeah. You did send me a picture. That's great.
That's awesome.
Normally, we like pictures of people wearing stuff, but in that situation, obviously don't. But I like to see the hats.
Well,
I
hold
like
on.
to see the shirts.
What are you talking about?
Well, like
no,
whenever we send mugs out, like we like to see them like with the mug, like send us a picture of it. So send us a picture of the item
No.
but not.
No,
I want to see. No, I want to see a
I
baby.
have no change.
I want to see a baby with the fucking Nude
No
clan.
change of opinion.
So,
Baby with Nude
so when we
clan.
come out with our nude cock ring, just go ahead and send a picture. No change in opinion.
The Nudinator is what we call it. It's
I'm
got
okay
like
with any and all pictures.
yeah, yeah. I was laughing
Hold
at
on,
that.
not
though.
all.
Maybe not the
Send a
nude.
dick pic. Joe will
Nope,
Joe will draw
don't
it
send
for you.
dick pics.
He will
You will,
no
you will
change in
be
opinion.
blocked.
The Nudinator 3000.
All right. We all know what we've been playing, but has anybody beat a game?
Yep.
Caleb Craig. Yes.
I beat Wind Waker and I beat Mega Man and Bass.
Wait. What did you beat first this year?
Dot hack GU
Okay, let's make sure we get the list.
dot hack.
/ G dot U vol VOL dot 1 rebirth.
Is that it?
Yeah.
It reminds me of when we did that test stream, and it was like the king, and then eventually it turned into like it just turned into like radio noise, just like garble. That's what that name is. It's just
Dot. Like,
king.
Just the fax noise.
all right. And then what's the next game?
And then Mega Man and Bass.
Mega Man and Bass.
Bass.
Okay.
And then Wind Waker.
Wind Waker. How long is that game?
It's like 30 hours.
God, did you start it?
I had like most of it done though.
I was gonna say some of this, since we're using that Hogib app, some of these guys' hog scores are crazy for like the first few weeks of January. Like, how do you have 4
Jake
or 5
already-
games beaten?
Jake already has fucking 7.
There
and
are
it's
2 people
2
with
weeks
six.
I
into the
want to
year.
call shenanigans on some of this, but I did check out on some of those games, and some of them are 4 to 5 hours long. So, I mean, possible for someone who doesn't do anything else.
I mean, yeah.
I think we just got done
We
reaming
don't
him.
got a job or
I think we just got done
life.
reaming him last week on Ultima too for like 10 minutes. So
Oh no!
give a little more.
I'm sorry, Jake.
that's all right. He doesn't count.
It doesn't count. Cameron.
So I didn't beat it this week, but Fable 3 I did beat this year. So last week.
Okay, cool.
Did you not count it last week?
I
No,
think
we
I
did,
did,
but we didn't have
just
our
didn't
list.
have this
Oh, okay,
paper.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is the new list.
This
so.
wonderful.
Yeah. And that's all I've gotten. So
All right. Schweiss.
Last week I had. Fuck! What did I beat before?
It was South Park.
Oh yeah, South Park: The Fractured But Whole. And this week I beat Fable 3.
Fable 3.
I'm gonna have to pull out a shorter game this next week because I'm fucking pretty sure I'm not gonna beat Tactics Advance in a week. I got
Gonna go
44
full
more
hog on
hours. I have been. I've been playing it on lunch.
Scout, what did you say? It was like 300 battles?
Yeah, that's what the internet says. I don't know
How
if
many have you done?
20, I think. So
Nice.
there's got to be some optional ones because the math doesn't add up for the hours and missions at all.
Okay. Well, we have a nice little, almost a staircase going. Caleb Craig, last year's King Hog, and the year before's King Hog. The king himself, still the king this week, with 3 games beaten.
Never not the king.
So when did you beat these games though? I have to wonder.
This week.
No, like when during the week?
I beat Mega Man and Bass on Wednesday, and then on Friday I beat.
So Joe
Wind Waker.
was ahead of you for a moment. Because didn't you beat Fable 3 on like Tuesday?
No, I beat Fable 3 later in the week.
Oh shit, maybe not.
Yeah. I was-
Hogib had Joe at 2.
yeah, I probably reported it first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Caleb Craig, 3 games beaten. Me and Schweiss are tied. How does that feel, Schweiss?
Won't be long.
At 2 games beaten. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't say the games I beat. I beat Legend of Zelda and Fable 3, by the way. And Cameron Wilson is in last place.
How's that first Zelda?
1 game.
Not for
I'll
long.
tell you in the review.
Yeah, you'll find out.
I did the 9th dungeon like the 4th. and it was fucking bullshit. And then I just cruised the rest of the game. I made the rest of the game my bitch, but
Yeah, it's fucking easy. If you
you
do the
do
hardest shit first.
fucked up shit with like 5 health bars, yeah, it's fine.
I followed a guide on all the overworld map stuff
Oh yeah, you should.
because I'm not fucking gonna get the graph paper out and
make
like
it?
put X marks over like, oh, I did a
Oh,
bomb here and a
and
bomb
then there's
here.
the fucking forest
'Cause
that
that's
you have to
how-
like wander through.
Frankly, that's how you're supposed to play the game.
It is, yeah. You're supposed to make your own map.
It's old school, like figure out what reacts to what every time you go into the game. It's going to take like 200 hours before you figure out the whole game.
But what's dumb is like the areas where you have to like go down and then to the left and like, and then suddenly you're in a new zone. That's when it gets bullshit.
So I had to use a guide from ZeldaDungeon.com, which, by the way, was the best game guide I've ever seen in my fucking life. So I highly recommend them. And then I did all the overworld stuff. I did all the dungeons up to the last 3 without guides, and then the last 3 I really needed help on dungeon 7, I think. And then near the end of that, and then dungeon 8, I needed help a lot, and then dungeon 9, I just said I'm going to follow this thing because this dungeon is
9 is huge.
scary looking.
9 is massive. And the thing that pissed me off the most is I didn't realize I had to have the special arrows. So I was at Ganon for like 3 days. Like I would go in and I could have killed him like 30 times. Like I fucked him. I got to the point where I could make him like fall down like 5 times before I died. Like I was a beast, and he just wouldn't fucking go away. And then Dylan said something like, "Did you get the magic arrow?" And I was like, "No, what fucking magic arrow?" And he's like, "Oh, it's in that dungeon." So I had to backtrack like forever to go find these things, and shit starts to respawn, and like I'm just save state loading my game up like 1,000 times, just like this is awful. Like fuck this. And then I finally get there, and it's just like one try, and he's dead.
Nice.
Like fucking easiest boss ever, but only if you spend 6 years.
You used to call him the easiest boss ever. It took me a few tries to kill him because I did not know what the fuck was going on.
Just keep attacking, like in every direction. That's what I did. Just fucking assume he's everywhere. But then you have to dodge his fireballs when he's like not right next to you. So it is rough, yeah. But
Jesus. All right.
fuck that guy.
Oh, God. Do we got a question?
We do have a question. One sec. Okay, it is from Black Mage Justin. He says, "Do you guys have games that you go back to and revisit, be it once a couple of years or every year?" I usually go through the Mass Effect trilogy once every couple of years myself.
I used to before I had a fucking show.
Yeah.
What would you go through?
I would go
Halo?
through Final Fantasies all
He'd
the
go
time.
through Halo too.
I'd go through Halo as well, yeah. So, and I would like to go through Halo again.
Fuck. I borrowed it when I used Dylan's Xbox for Fable 2, and I tried Legendary, and I was only able to beat the first mission in Halo 3. I was like, this fucking balls to the wall. But I don't want to not beat it on Legendary because I want all the gamer scores.
I beat
Halo
Halo
3
1 on
does get
Legendary.
I beat the first 2. 2 is like a cheese fest. You just have to like get to checkpoints, and then you could die. It's like that's how I played it. I was like, okay, run, and like my buddy runs, and then I stay back and just like I'm the meat shield. I die, and then he gets a checkpoint. I respawn with him, and so we're like fucking.
That's how you...
We're hot potato.
I did that in Halo 1,
game.
and we glitched the fuck out of the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Did shit like stop appearing?
Yeah.
No,
Shit stopped
that's
appearing.
Yeah, I remember how
crazy.
way back in the day where he found one glitch in Halo 1 and he's like, "Man, this is the best thing ever." And it's just because he spawned behind enemies that were waiting to come around the corner when it was their turn, and he's like, "Look at them all here, haha!" And then he hops in front of them. Then they start interacting with him. Best glitch ever.
It is. It's pretty great until the game breaks and you have no ammo.
Until it's like,
Yeah, it's pretty great. Yeah, for me it was those. What about you guys?
Every now and then I play those Batman Arkham games. I really enjoy those. So
yeah, they're good. They're good.
Okay.
I haven't played Origins in a while. Might need to go back to
Oh, I got another one. Roller Coaster Tycoon. I
Yeah,
install that baby every few years and play a little bit.
it's really fun, especially when you get down and dirty and you start charging people to go to the bathroom. Like, Like, I need a quick $100. That's just 40 cents. There's 50 people in line. You know, get $20 out of here.
Hell yeah, dude.
Fucking, what are you gonna do? Shit yourself? No, you're gonna pay.
Yeah, I also do Castlevania. I go back to those quite frequently. Love Castlevania. And Mega Man. Actually, I have a lot I go back to.
Craig, do you just go back through all the games you've beaten before? Just
The way
in
your
a
backlog
circle
is.
and never
Occasionally.
get to your backlog?
Yeah, that's kind
Okay.
of what happens because I
Yeah.
love those games. And it's
All right,
yeah.
well, that's nice.
It's like, you know what? I haven't played Castlevania in a while. Let's go back to that.
Cameron?
I think the game I've gone back to the most has to be Fallout 3.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah. Great game. Love it. And I kind of want to start through
Do you restart it every time?
Oh, yeah, from the beginning.
Okay.
Yep. And then decide to put points in different like categories this time because, yeah, just try out a different progression, experience the game in a different way.
I saw my life flash before my eyes, and I realized that game was bad for me. I'm sure you have many, many hours of great times.
I owned
Fallout
that
3
game
is
three
pretty
different.
fucking
I owned
awesome.
that game 3 times.
You
You
know-
different copies.
The sad part, Joe, is my story is the exact same, except for mine is a failure. Because I was in the wastelands killing stuff, right? And the game auto-saves, but only if you go into a major building. And so I went to like a little hut, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm auto-saved. So like I went back out, and then I died. And I lost an hour and a half. And I'm like, phew, man, that hurts. But I got time, so I loaded the game back up, went outside, lost another 2 hours, same thing. I found a guy that, it was like a super mutant, and he was fucking not for me. I had like a fucking BB gun still. Like, I had nothing in the game. I was just fucking around, like exploring.
Why would you
Lost,
do that? with
lost
a BB
2
gun?
hours, and I've never picked it up since then. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't.
Oh God.
Dude, you need to.
It's a
I fucking know,
it's
but
an addict game. I can tell already. It's a game that will suck me in and ruin my life.
Oh, yeah. They do.
So-
It's crazy.
I was gonna say I kind of want to go through the Elder Scrolls games and then like we did Fable, just from the beginning onwards.
I know I talked about that when we started this show, but now I am scared to do that.
Just stick to the main storyline.
it's
easy
really
enough.
short.
What's
if
the
you do
first
main.
Elder Scrolls called?
It's
Arena.
like yeah,
It's Arena,
something
and
Arena.
then the second one is
I think it's Hammerfall.
Hammerfall. That's right. And then Morrowind, Oblivion, and
Should we sneak
Skyrim.
ESO in there too?
no.
Dude,
Honestly,
ESO is not that great. Like, it was fun. It's probably fun now because they built the game. But you remember when we got to Endgame and like it was just like 5 skeletons that were level like 6 billion?
Basically.
There's no content. That's my experience with that. It's probably built up now. But
Doing dungeon bosses was pretty sweet, though. Like that first one where we like went in and killed the troll. We each had like our own tasks.
yeah, dungeons are always fun in MMOs, but that's
I
kind of
just want a good MMO. Like there aren't any like. There's like the few old MMOs that are really great, but where's a good new MMO that we could get into?
14.
Well, we fucking played
No.
it and invited you guys to play it, and you didn't do it.
New. How new is that?
They just had an expansion like 3 months ago.
2014, right? 2012, maybe. Help! Can't remember the
I
year.
don't know. Somewhere around there.
Okay.
They did a Realm Reborn.
Yeah.
But each time they make the content, they make a new expansion, they revamp the whole game. Like every bit of it is like the new battle system, the new job style, the new whatever it is.
To
So
make
it's-
everyone who got the previous battle system down really hate their
Yeah,
lives. for the next
yes.
little bit.
For the first little bit, yes. I was like, I didn't. That's why Joe and I almost wanted to not play Stormblood because like we didn't want to deal with the new battles, but then we had to anyway. So
you find out that your character, which once was great, now you have to think about doing something else because your old build is no longer as valid. As
honestly,
it was.
my old Black Mage build was like I could do probably drunk and high at the same time. Because it's like, just keep pressing the button until the one button gets all flashy around it, and then press that one, and then go back to pressing that one button again. So I'm glad they fucking changed it. But yes, it was hard to get used to.
God, there's some old games that I used to play that I really want to revisit.
Like what?
Like Dig Dug,
Damn it.
Dig Dug 2.
Warcraft, dude.
Oh,
Centipede.
Yes,
Oh yeah,
Centipede.
Warcraft is awesome.
Talk about an addicting game.
Warcraft 3, not World of Warcraft.
You know, 3 is like the only one I didn't play.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I played one
The
and
other
two.
the other two, you have to get like a DOS box emulator
I
to
know.
play now.
It hurts.
Isn't that horrible?
Yeah, because I loved sending like all of my villagers to go gather gold.
The other ones were the Diablo games, which of course we played in this
Yeah.
show.
I
And
wanna do-
Fable, which we played. Just got to get that Halo and that Warcraft.
I
on
think
this
we should do
show.
like an annual Diablo 2 playthrough, like where we all play it. We just bring 4 computers and then we just like
Oh, dude, that's the best idea you've ever had.
co-op
That's
Diablo 2.
literally the best idea you've ever had.
I think that would be
Diablo
awesome.
2 is 4-player?
Oh yeah, you can have like
Diablo.
8 people, I think.
If we had enough
Oh,
Elgatos,
we could all.
we could put it all on one screen and
We could technically, yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god.
Sounds like
Just
that's something we
gotta
need
it's
to
gonna
do.
be a bit of an HDMI cord jungle, but we can do it.
A bit of fuckery is what it would really be.
Oh, you see, it would be the HDMI out on each computer going into an Elgato, and all those Elgatos would be in one separate computer, and then the HDMI's from the Elgato out would be on our own specific monitors.
That would be some fuckery to behold. Especially if we're like walking kind of near each other. It's just like weird versions of what we're seeing on the left.
We got 3 of them.
Oh man.
I bet your little tablet can play some Diablo 2.
I fucking hope so.
I think it could. I also have an old work computer that could probably do it.
That's yeah. Oh, and I got a spare computer as well. That can definitely play it.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude. Oh man.
we should probably do it. We should
God.
probably stream it.
If only we had a place we could do that.
Gotta buy that second house.
Yeah, buy the second house.
And then this will be podcast.
This will just be the podcast house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll let Jay stay here too. I give him his own house. I would have loved that as a 5-year-old. Like,
Yeah.
You could have this house.
do with it as you will. Just don't touch the podcasting equipment.
Yeah, just get a job and pay for your food, and yeah, the rent's taken care of.
It'll be
Don't worry
fine.
about it.
Small little child hands are perfect for squeezing into like machinery and shit. You know?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I learned in the third world countries.
Yeah, is there an opening at your job? They'd probably hire that kid.
He's
Yeah.
got spunk.
Craig,
Unlike
sorry.
you.
Maybe.
He's got spunk,
Yeah.
unlike
work.
me.
Unlike Craig.
Oh, okay.
Tell me I don't have spunk.
Yes.
My fucking boss asked me to stay longer. Don't fucking tell me I'm not a good employee. Every boss
I'm a
I've
great
quit
employee.
has asked me to stay longer.
Well, you don't have time. Well, I guess you do have tiny little hands, but
I do have time.
they're not
hands.
quite that tiny.
Can't.
But
Keep telling yourself that, Joe.
I am telling myself that because it's true.
my game that I try to return to, I try to do Resident Evil Outbreak every Halloween. I did it this year, but I didn't do it the year before. I don't know. I just think it's a really fun game that doesn't get really any recognition, like at all, because it's kind of shitty in a bunch of ways, but I still love it. I don't really have a game that I return to each year, but I do go back to like certain shooters and stuff like that regularly. I think mostly just having the 2 shows kind of.
I was super
Kinda
close
fucks
to
it up.
getting the remastered Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1.
Yeah.
Like,
See, I never
really
played
wanted
that
it.
one.
I did. It was good.
Wait, Call of Duty 4?
Yeah.
4.
Yeah,
Okay.
Modern Warfare.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Modern Warfare 2.
Okay,
And
if
then
they had remastered Modern Warfare 2, you bet your ass I would have picked that up.
Yeah.
It was a great game.
Noob tube like no tomorrow.
You had to.
If it's in the
rewarded you for it.
game, it's allowed.
No, dude,
Well,
it
you
was.
had to use it for certain
I
certain
love getting
attachments.
direct hits with the fucking noob tube. Like I'll just like launch it and it'll just be like, you got somebody right in the face. And I was like, yes, I love that. I love that shit.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think if I could, I'd probably play Resident Evil 4 every year, just because it's great. And Dylan has it on the Xbox.
He has it on
360, and I was like,
everything, Schweiss.
I've got
Every
this for a few
system
more
that
weeks.
thing is on, he has
I
it.
could beat it for like the 6th time.
Isn't the best version supposed to be on the GameCube?
You'd have to ask Dylan.
Yeah, you'd
That's
have
what
to ask
Dylan said. So
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, it's the GameCube
I bet you
one.
the one on PS3 and 4 and 360 are all great too. Just HD'd. I don't know if you could compare the GameCube to the Xbox 360, but
I think it was more about controls for him.
oh yeah, so the GameCube has a great controller. Is that what he's fucking trying to tell you right now?
GameCube's controller is decent.
It's decent if you look at Nintendo's other controllers, the 64, which is a plague. Although the Super NES,
64 is pretty bad.
the Super NES and the NES are fine, but they're like 5 buttons, including the directional pad.
Yeah.
But it doesn't rape your thumb, so you know, like look down and you don't have any flesh left. It's just a fucking bone.
What's the email you guys were talking about?
Oh, we've got a bunch of emails actually, but
Well, let's just go to the one where someone actually defended cake in the fucking rain.
okay, let's do this one real quick. Why do you not call your fans nudists? We thought about that, and that name did come up, but it's just too much, I think is what we decided. And
I think it was mostly because like a lot of listeners don't like to be referred to as a name by the people who have the show. So like you can call yourselves whatever the fuck you want, but we're not going to call you that.
Pick your own name.
yeah. Oh crap! Hang on, let me find it.
I'm letting you find it.
Oh well, there's this one that someone said they're on episode 29 and said "fuck Joe." Condescending dick bag. That guy sent a lot of shit.
That is a great question.
Episode 29. What was episode 29?
Hold on. Now we have to look.
Does it matter?
It does matter.
Well, I'm just
I
curious.
want to know.
Fragile
What
sense of self-worth is
I
on
want
the
to know what I
line.
said. Condescending. Come on, that's not me.
Shit, I don't know
not
where
you.
I don't know where "Cake in the Rain" was. Can't remember where that came in, but someone did say it was a good song and that that guy writes like all good songs, basically.
No, that's proof that he doesn't write all good songs.
Yeah, that
And,
would be like us as huge
You're
Metallica
wrong.
fans saying that they only put out masterpieces, which is a fucking lie.
That is a lie.
Everybody has bad songs.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible to not have at least a couple bad songs.
It was 29. It's the Pokemon Go one.
Oh,
What was I talking about?
gotta go listen to it.
I don't want to listen to the whole episode again.
But here's the one that,
looking at your hog scores, you love listening.
I
to your
went through
episodes.
all of our FF reviews, and then I listened to some other stuff for award
Probably
show
you
shit.
shitting on Pokemon or some shit. I don't know. I don't remember what was in
So
that
here's one
episode.
that I have for Craig.
God
though.
damn it! Can people just be some fucking adults for once? Fuck you guys! God damn it! Fuck!
You
There
played
he goes,
Pokemon Go.
condescending again.
So Brenton reaches out and says the comparison of Far Cry Primal and Horizon Zero Dawn you guys do is ridiculous. Other than
No,
having a
it's not.
spear
No,
and a
it's
bow
not.
for combat. Then Craig complains
And
about
the
the
exploration, the quest.
Craig complains about the use of grapple in Horizon. Rappel instead of climbing is stupid as well. Rappelling means going down. The use of grapple in Far Cry Primal is fucking stupid. You turn into fucking Batman and can swing from branch to branch with a single grapple.
That's why it's fucking awesome.
That shouldn't even be in the time zone the game is set in. Primal was by far the worst of the recent Far Cry games. It was fun,
Yeah.
but it is completely
it's
inferior
true.
to Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry,
No,
old
it's not.
topic, but Cameron is right in this argument and Craig is wrong, which is normally Joe's job. So, big fan of the show here.
What? Cam was right about what?
Horizon.
Horizon.
No, fuck you.
I
Okay,
think-
you know what? Horizon Zero Dawn is an average game, okay? I keep saying this, and everybody seems to treat it like it's the fucking second coming of gaming, okay? Because it's not. It is not.
He's
It
not
is
even
a
saying it's a bad game.
I mean,
just
it's
saying
not a
it's an
bad.
average
It's not a
game.
bad game, and the comparison is.
How dare you call it average?
It's exactly like Far Cry Primal in practically every
damn
way.
it, it's so
and it's
similar.
also just a rehash of fucking Assassin's Creed 2. Every single aspect. The fucking climbing, which they did completely worse, and then the fact that you have to collect the like seals in order to get the ultimate armor. That is a thing that started in Assassin's Creed 2, okay? Everything about that game is a combination of Assassin's Creed 2 and Far Cry Primal. That is what Horizon Zero Dawn is. Yes, it has cool aspects, but it's not a perfect game. It is okay. It is just okay.
I think it's still pretty good, but it is not perfect. No.
I quite enjoyed the game.
I think the knocking off elements
right.
is bitching, but
That's
and
the only
like to
good part
kill a
about it,
robot
really.
with his own gun, that's hardcore.
Again, it's the only part about it that's unique.
That is kind of true, yeah. And I'm fine with that.
Sounds
still
great.
think
It's
great.
okay because games always take from each other, and that's fine. But if you like take something from another game and you make it worse, I don't understand how you can just say that that's like the greatest game. Like I don't get it because the climbing in Horizon Zero Dawn is trash. It is fucking trash.
It's kind of useless, yeah. It just kind of is.
It's
there.
useless and it's bad. Just in general, it's just bad.
Well, if you got good at climbing, there are several places that you can get to much quicker if you look for.
Well, it's not about being
the climbing
good
ways.
at climbing.
I think that's what bothers Craig is that it's
the
like a
controls
nothing.
are terrible.
You just kind of like move in the direction and they go.
Yeah, you just go. It's
You might as well be walking, like honestly.
yeah. There's like no point to it. And then the fact that you have to like walk around just a semi-steep ledge instead of jumping up onto the fucking ledge still bugs the fucking shit out of me. Like, oh, you mean I have to walk around and go up this ramp instead of just being able to jump up the
Yeah.
fucking ramp?
Yeah, but
Like,
the bitch jumps like 30 feet when she wants to.
She'll fucking just jump.
Yeah, that's true.
And then the freaking satellite giraffes that you have to fucking climb. It is really annoying. It's
Straight out
just-
of Assassin's Creed. Too.
It's like the fucking towers to see everything that you can do around. That's also a Far Cry thing. It started in Assassin's
Radio
Creed
towers.
and the other games. It's just the same thing. It's just a rehash of open world game stereotypes that have been created by Assassin's Creed and other games that are like it. That it's all Horizon Zero Dawn is.
Yeah.
It even stole the weapon wheel from other games. Like everything that's a part of that game is just here, there's bits and pieces, and you can clearly see where they're from because they didn't even try to make it unique or
you
put a spin
see,
on it.
Craig, thematically, the game is about putting together bits and pieces.
No, it's really not.
I think the story is decent at the very least. It's a cool idea.
The story is okay, and the fact that the robot designs are awesome.
I do think
and
that-
taking them down is great.
I
but
do think that it
it's-
has almost the same story as Nier, and I do think Nier's is much better.
You know, I went into that
Nier
game
is a better
expecting
game.
to hate
a
it.
much better game.
I went to that game expecting to hate it because I'm like, oh come on, how much more of a nerd can you be fighting robot dinosaurs with sticks and
robots,
stones?
dinosaurs.
I mean, what purpose is there to have
I can't.
fucking to build robots as dinosaurs or animals? There's no fucking
Here's
purpose.
what's gonna happen.
But then when I learned what the game was about, I understood, and then it was great.
Cameron, you're going to become the biggest weeb here. You're going to be like wearing the huge top hat that's like purple. You're going to have the super long tie. And
No,
like,
it's gonna have like the fedora and a katana.
I could do the purple tie and the top hat. That's fine.
Fucking god.
that's what's going to happen to Cameron. He's going to start out being like, fuck this, and like slowly
You guys
he's
keep
like,
saying that, and
he's
I
becoming
still,
a closet
and I'm-
weeb.
and I
you got like a little
still
persona
am who I
shrine
am.
in your fucking closet
Little
that you like
persona
beat off
shrine.
to every night.
Oh man,
Notice me, senpai.
Oh man, he knows.
Yeah, Cameron, it's going to
Notice
happen.
me.
And you're gonna
No.
fall into it deep, and you're never gonna come out.
No.
you're gonna die.
gotta-
there.
you just
You're
gotta-
gonna fucking die.
I'm
there.
not saying being a weeb. That's your choice. You can do that, but just it's a no for me.
There's a difference between liking anime and being a weeb, Cam.
I
And
know.
that's something I feel
No,
like
it's
you
not.
don't truly understand.
And I think you toe the line, Craig. You toe that line.
Craig's there.
No, I
He's like
don't.
he's got his bare foot out, and he's like drawing the line with his big toe. He's like kind of playing.
I would
with
be
it, you know?
surprised if you had one of those full size body pillows.
I don't.
Well, he needs that
anymore.
pillow.
Yeah, that's just
I
for
have
his
He's
head.
got to
Never-
have the
I have
support.
never had a body pillow. I've never.
Anyways.
once
You're
had-
acting like. Come on, everybody has body pillows. I've never had one. I'm not.
Anyways, I still think
I've
that
never
Nier
had a body
was a
pillow.
better
Not what I
game than Horizon Zero Dawn. I quite
I
enjoyed
would
Horizon
get a
Zero
body
Dawn, but
pillow
Nier, if
of
you're gonna compare it.
2B. I would do that.
with
You're
like a
gonna
Sasha installed.
Yeah. I gift one to Schweiss too. I know he
also,
wants
thank
it.
you to Larry Beaver for your recent pledge to Patreon.
Oh,
on a more
thanks.
positive note. Thank
Yeah,
you for that.
this episode is brought to you by our Patreon donors, as well as audibletrial.com/nude clan. If you want to listen to a nice book, all right, there's many that I recommend. I listened to a lot of books last year, and I got some good recommendations. So if you want something, just talk to me about it. But that Audible is the way to go. It's
Yeah.
such a good program. So get in
Audible
there.
is pretty awesome.
Get in there. Go to audibletrial.com/nudeclan. You can also check out our website, nudeclan.net. Please go to our forums in order to ask a question and maybe talk to other people about some gaming sort of stuff. Give us iTunes reviews. We really appreciate that. I am at JosephDeGolier on Twitter.
At Obsidian Ba for me.
Nude Clan Cam.
At UFF Podcast.
And our podcast's Twitter is at Nude Clan Podcast as well. Do we want to get into some Fable Thra?
We shall.
Fable.
The great and powerful king of Albion is dead.
Shout out
To
to
one
miniature.
son, he leaves
Shut
the
up.
crown.
This is my Albion. Its people will do as I say, or they will die.
To the other son, he leads a life of adventure.
Flawless. Who could resist you?
One brother's tyranny leads to starvation and misery.
Albion needs nothing
Did
less
John
than a
Cleese
revolution.
While from the other
also
brother's
voice
choices,
characters
the quest
in Fable
to
1 and
save
2?
Albion begins.
Because I could have sworn I heard him in Fable 2. No, me? Why?
You best start believing in ghost stories, mister. You're in one. All right. Fable 3, sequel to the gigantically successful Fable 2. Only on the Xbox 360 until a PC port came out, and the game was originally released on 29th of October 2010. It's an action role-playing game developed by Lionhead Studios, focused on a character's struggle to overthrow the King of Albion, which is his brother. It featured a lot of really well-known actors as voice talent in this game. Not so much for like the villagers and stuff, but a lot of like the named characters, including Stephen Fry, who plays Reaver, Simon Pegg, who plays Ben Finn, Naomi Harris, who plays Paige, Michael Fassbender, who plays Logan, Bernard Hill, who is Sir Walter Beck, John Cleese, who is Jasper, which is the first thing that started when I was playing the game, when I was like, is that John Cleese? And I think live on Twitch, I like looked up who the fuck was playing the voice. And I was like, it is John Cleese. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So
I thought I recognized Michael
That's why I
Fassbender
couldn't kill
in there. I was
Reaver.
like,
big name talent. This game, I guess, when they started designing it, they wanted to create a different kind of Fable. So the other two Fables were pretty similar to each other and had pretty similar themes about good and evil.
Yeah.
That was a big deal. This time, though, the main head designer, whose last name I cannot pronounce, so I'm not even going to try it, he wanted to have a different type of RPG. He didn't want you to go through the game like any other RPG where it just gets like your character progresses and the game gets harder and harder until your character is like big enough to just finally defeat the bad guy at the end. He wanted a different sort of challenge as you went through it, as some sort of progression. So that's why we have the ending section that we have, I am sure.
That you made worthless.
Yes, I did. And we'll get into that in a little bit. And also, it's I don't know. It's less to do with good and evil, and it doesn't have the same story structure that the other
Gray
two games did.
area.
It was like a completely different. The other two were different stories, but they had the exact same structure.
they were
you
the
know?
same games.
They were
basically.
almost the same
Yeah.
game. And then the third one kind of kicks that out of the water, with the exception of like instead of an arena area that was
Yeah.
in both the games.
I was like, there it is. There's the
It
arena.
was like the challenge wheel of hatred or whatever.
yeah.
And it changed a lot of the systems and the gameplay mechanics and in story-wise, like the main character, although I don't believe they have a name, they do have a voice. Which, of course, in the other two Fables, much like many games in this kind of category, you're playing a mute, basically.
Yeah.
And in this one, they gave him a voice, which was the first thing that made me go, what the fuck? This is not right.
You're the son of your old character, though.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's 50 years after the events of Fable 2.
So he had kids when he was like, what? 50? Jesus Christ.
I don't know.
Because if it's 50 years after the events of Fable 2, the guy in Fable 2 is like 20.
Well, it depends.
He's
'cause, like,
70.
There's stuff where like
He's
your
dead.
character gets aged. And
Oh, shit, the prison. Oh, my God. He had kids as an old motherfucker then.
Well, there's like the prison part, and then if you
Also in Fable 1.
if in Fable 2, if you if you save the chick, then you age like a shitload.
Yeah, but you don't
for
actually
the-
age. Like, you age physically.
Your body ages physically, but
your
time doesn't progress.
Time doesn't, yeah.
Yeah, but that still makes
So you're
you
even older, technically.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this motherfucker was like...
He was like
So we're lucky
40
this guy's chromosomes didn't
40
Yeah,
or
exactly.
50
All
by
right.
the time that
I guess dudes can still have kids. There's a guy in, like... I think it was India. He had a kid, and he was like 93 or some shit.
No, there's still degeneration.
you would
of
have
the,
to have he would have had to have
sperm.
had kids
By the
after the guy killed your kids.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
dark. He killed my wife and child.
He had to have 2 kids.
Well, in this one, your brother kills someone very special to you, or not, depending on what you guys chose. I chose to kill the resistance people at the beginning of the game.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So,
Did she go away from you? Does she not like want to see you anymore?
fuck, I can't remember actually.
Well, obviously she
Sorry.
wasn't a part of the game after that. So,
No, she wasn't. Like the game moves forward in some way.
So she obviously didn't want to see you anymore.
Yeah.
So there you go.
She just didn't want anything to do with me. Anyway, so at the beginning of the game, you're the younger brother of the king, of the new king after the old king passes away. And your older brother, which is played by Michael Fassbender, just Logan. Logan has this, he's becoming increasingly tyrannical. And people don't like this. You investigate, and then your brother gives you a choice, and then you're put out somewhere, and your job is then to promise all these people that when you become king and overthrow your brother, you're going to get all this stuff done for them. And so after a huge section of game where you're getting things done for all these people, you do finally overthrow the king. You choose whether or not you want to kill him. This is another choice game in that respect, like the other Fables. And then your brother tells you that the reason he was doing all these things, the reason he was like taxing the shit out of people and all these other, and being really strict and all these other things, was so that he could create an army to basically defend against this darkness that's coming into the land. And I guess that's the big twist. And then suddenly you're given 1 year before these invaders come in. You're given 1 year to get the resources in order to fight these things off.
Also terrifying. Like, I was like, Jesus, when you're in that cave and like Walter comes face to face with one of those things. I was
Yeah.
like, that's pretty frightening looking for a fucking Fable game.
So the story is a lot different than the other two Fables.
Refreshingly, I would say.
You would say refreshingly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was expecting something different. I'll
You're
be
expecting
honest.
the same thing that you're expecting?
Yes, I was
You
expecting.
kind of got
the
it
same
though
thing.
a little bit. It like plays with it.
Did you guys think the story was interesting?
I thought the story was interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, how else to say it? It was different than the other Fables. Going through it, it just felt a little bit more streamlined, if you will, than some of the other stories. Like you were immediately thrust into being part of the Resistance and just following the footsteps of another character who's there pretty much the whole time. Your armsman, or you're the guy who's teaching you how to fight, you're following him for the basically majority of the game and just doing what he told you to do, and you're just yeah.
I thought the story was okay. My biggest problem reviewing this game is that I've always feel like I have to compare it to the other two games. Like,
Yeah.
can I play this game and just play it as its own thing? I might look on it a little bit more positively. In the story aspect, though, it pulled something that old RPGs pull all the time. It pulled it a little better than like Final Fantasy IV did, but suddenly the bad guy switches. And I don't really think there's enough kind of build up for that. So the game is a normal Fable game up until you take over the kingdom, and then suddenly it's a different game.
Yeah.
And then suddenly the story that was going on, which I thought was okay. It was like, okay, he's taking it over from his brother. I didn't really feel that threatened by his brother. Like, I felt threatened by the bad presence in the previous Fables. This time it's like, okay, we're going to take it over. And it wasn't that difficult. And it was just like, whatever.
I found the combat not to be too difficult after I discovered a certain thing. So,
well, we'll get to gameplay in a second. And then it just kind of like, oh, now I have to earn a bunch of gold, and it's a totally different thing.
yeah.
And there's like some different progress about you being a hero or whatever, and it just felt kind of all over the place.
Yeah,
it
what do
was
you-
like different chunks,
what
and
do
it
you
didn't
feel
feel
about-
like one cohesive story.
What do you feel about when, as you're gathering pieces of the resistance, and you make promises to them? Basically, the reason why they're joining you. And then later in the game, you have a decision whether or not you keep those promises.
I like that.
Yeah, I felt like that was the whole thing. The whole thing was about someone connecting people together. And then when it's his turn to, make good on the things he promised them, I feel like that was what it was really all about.
I almost felt like that would be like post end game content, though, and it felt that way as a piece.
You felt like the whole year afterwards is in-game content?
Kinda.
It felt
Yeah.
so.
I said,
It felt like I was like I got whiplash in the game. I was going one way and then I was like,
what I said is I wish Craig would have played it, because then he would have said the game was done there instead of actually finishing the game, doing the Shadow Wars section the year before the invasion section. He'd be like, oh, game's over. Took the king.
The
down.
difference there is that actually is part of the story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it was Shadow Wars stuff.
No, it's not.
There's a cutscene at the end, Craig.
anyway.
Doesn't matter.
I would have loved it, because then
There's
you
a
would have done the
cutscene
same
at the end
thing.
of Parasite Eve.
There is,
when
yeah,
you do
we
the
saw it.
Chrysler Building.
That's
So-
different, Caleb. It's different.
Yeah.
It's New Game
Shut
Plus.
the fuck up about Shadow of War.
I think this game, the story, I think it was fine. I like the story. I like that they went in a different direction. It almost felt like the same problem that I ran into when I watched the movie. Oh, wow. I almost said Interstellar, but that's not right. The ending is better than the ending to Interstellar, but it's the Passengers. There was a good
Yeah.
plot between him and his brother that was really interesting, and then at the end, there's like near the end anyway, there's like a huge Hollywood explosion's gonna happen if we don't save it. I'm like, okay, the drama between the brother and you was way
God
more
damn it, that
interesting
just
to
reminded me of Passengers second half.
Yeah, it was way
God,
more
it would have been a
interesting.
great movie.
I know,
if
yeah.
that second half didn't exist.
Yeah, with the
It
robots.
was a great short film.
picking up the food, and he's feeding them. Like, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's great. But the second half did feel like that, where like there's suddenly a.
Oh, there's suddenly a bad guy.
And I agree, it is kind of Final Fantasy-esque, but I like it a little bit more, and it kind of explains why your brother was being an asshole, is because he had to be to try to save the people, I guess, because he wasn't the real estate baron that I
but
am.
he didn't.
He
have
could have
to
also
Be, he didn't have to be
explained
like.
it,
I know,
right?
like he was being a dick to be a dick. There was a better way to go about it.
There is a better way to tell that same story,
Yeah.
where it would be your character finding out the truth while
Yeah.
your brother is still in power.
Yeah, and then you
And then go
take
in.
over and
It's-
say, I can do this better.
Yeah, that ways there's a setup and a payoff, and then there's like an arc to it, instead of just being like, I'm going to take over my brother's kingdom. That's one plot. Second plot is, oh, there's bad guys coming.
Yeah.
It's like, as a story, it's not, to me, very cohesive. It was fine. It's fine as far as stories go. Certainly, some of the characters were pretty cool.
Yeah,
and
Reaver is great. It's
fleshed
hilarious.
out. Reaver's great. I think Logan is
Reaver is still alive?
an interesting character.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
And
Yeah, it doesn't let you execute him. In fact, he's the one who does everything that you tell him to do at the end. Oh, I want to build a school. It's Reaver who builds it. Oh, I want to do this. It's
Reaver
who does it.
Industries, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes like no sense.
He
but
argues
whatever.
against it every point of the way.
Anyway, like all the other Fables, I think the characters are great. The plot, though, is just like, ugh, it's just messy. It's messy to me. I don't know. You said it was all right, though, Cameron.
It's more okay than great. And when I said
Okay.
it's good, I meant like it's good. It's satisfied.
Okay.
It didn't awe me in any way. It didn't like, oh wow, like kind of like how Nier did. Look, I mean, it's okay. It's good. I enjoyed it.
Well, I feel like Fable 2
But I'm not-
and Fable 1 both had way better plots.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but they
true.
were the same.
And more cohesive plots, with the magic box or whatever. And the other one, he's going for his sister.
Yeah.
And
But the
Some would say
seer,
magic box
the
as well.
the magic seer that your father had, the sightless seer that told you what to do, she lied to you at the beginning because she's the one who set your brother on the path he was on in the first place. So she's a little dark at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they did what they were trying to do. They wanted to mess with the formula, but I feel like they didn't make like a new thing out of it. They just kind of like broke it and just left it there.
Yeah. It is refreshing to not play the same game again, like I did with Fable 1 and then Fable 2. But yeah, I don't know. The story it's only all right to me. I mean, there are great characters though. That's what makes it tough to truly judge it, is because like Walter and like the butler and
Yeah,
like
Walter's probably my favorite.
everybody in the game is like pretty awesome. And the story is just kind of, it's like two stories, and it doesn't really fit.
And
Like,
neither are satisfying.
it does introduce it a little earlier than FF does, so it works better.
Yeah, it works. It works a little better. It's not just suddenly like, oh, you're at the final boss. It's a new thing. You're in the final section.
Yeah,
Is there even bosses in this one?
yeah. There's
Yeah, there's
bosses.
Because the other one, Fable 2, didn't really have bosses. It just had like troll dudes.
It had some bosses, didn't it?
No, they were just
Crazy?
troll dudes.
It's kind of like that though. They're like big fights.
Yeah, there's big fights with like a big dude.
It's not like a crazy Zelda, like, oh, you have to play with its taint, and then he
That's something I kind of didn't like about Fable. Is that
reaches
it,
back to
didn't-
itch it, and you
like
shoot
the
him in the
one
armpit.
thing about RPGs is like that it has bosses. In Fable.
No,
It
you got to
doesn't
fight
really
the
have
werewolf
bosses.
and shit. There's bosses. They're just not as like. They're not as crazy. Fable 1 probably had the most bossy bosses out of all of them, like the dragon coming out of the water and shit. There's bosses in the first one. But
Yeah.
the other two are kind
The only
of
real boss in this game was at the very end.
like big baddies, but not. Yeah, and even that boss is like part of a slew of shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah, that is interesting. There's not really.
It is a Western RPG though, and it's not quite as.
Well, even Western ones have bosses that like feel like bosses. I mean, you get like Skyrim, and you have like the dragon priests, and you have dragons that you like go fight at certain points. Then you have like actual boss fights, like with the last encounter with Alduin. Like that happens. Like there are boss fights.
There's boss fights in Fable.
It just doesn't really feel like it.
So, but most of the fights are just like the bad guys getting bigger and badder. But it's not. They're still grunts,
Yeah, it's
So I get what you're saying, but I don't
nothing that
necessarily
like feels
100%
like a
agree
boss.
with you.
Like even the trolls, it was like, oh well, it's got like the health bar, like it's a boss. But really, all you have to do is shoot like the little veins that stick out every now and then.
Which one did you only play Fable 2?
Yeah, I only played
Okay,
Fable 2.
all right. Well, there you're coming from that angle. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
that's all I know about it.
Well, obviously, none of us are really like going over story like crazy. Cameron, what do you give story out of 10?
I'd probably give it a solid 6.
6 out of 10.
6 out of 10 for story.
Me too. 6 out of 10 for story. I was gonna give it that from the moment I stepped into this door. It was like I guess it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll echo that. I've
There's
been
nothing
thinking
wrong,
6, maybe 7.
terrible
I
about
like
it.
that they went in a different direction, but 6 is where it lies.
6 is where it lies.
Yeah, it's fine.
Story gets
Oh
a devil.
God. Number of the beast. 666. Gameplay. Gameplay is interesting.
So
Tell us about gameplay, Cameron.
So as you're playing along, the sightless seer that was with you in the second game, she's also there guiding you in the first game. So progression's done kind of differently, where whenever you reach a momentous point, you can go to this world that kind of shows you how you're progressing through the game.
You can go. You mean you don't have to go?
Yeah, no, you have to.
You
go.
have to
Okay.
go. So
And then instead of how the other Fable games where you earn points and orbs throughout it, and you could just spend them on things you want to. This one you just earn basically hero points, and then you use this hero point currency for everything, and everything is locked behind chests. So as you're going through this world, that's kind of like a symbol of how far you've progressed in the game.
Yeah,
all the way
road
up to
to
the
rule
castle.
is what's called.
The road to rule. Then you have certain power ups and chests. You can upgrade your sword skills, your magic skills, unlock new
Pie-making
spells.
skills.
You can get better at jobs with these chests. Basically, you go about the game earning hero points that you then spend on these different chests. Now, one of these chests, because I was treating this Fable game, I was trying to treat it fighting and magic, kind of keeping on par with each other. I ended it the same way, but one of these chests allow you to combine spells together. So the first thing I thought of, what would be the best spells combined together? I'm like, well, wind and fire, that'd be great. So I went ahead and did that, and combat after that, for me at least, was broken. Because as soon as I started doing that and started leveling up magic, I stopped buying potions and food and stuff because no one could touch me.
Did you beat the game without dying?
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So all
That's a
I
huge
did,
achievement for it.
I did not.
all I did was so with magic you have a directional spell which you shoot an object at one creature, or you have an area effect spell which is just starts at you at the center, and then you can hold it to charge to go outwards. Right. Well, with what I did is I combined the whirlwind spell with the fire spell. Whirlwind spell basically what it does is picks up creatures and throws them around. When you combine it with the fire spell, it picks up creatures and throws it around, as well as doing a ton of damage to them. So what you do is you charge it a couple times as they're charging you to pick them up and start throwing around so they can't touch you. Then you do the uber charge as they can't touch you and destroy everything. So after that, I was a god for the rest of the game. Combat was kind of broken.
You told me how to do it, and I did that as well.
And was combat broken for you after that?
Pretty much.
So when you go to when you first meet the darkness and you see all these shadow men coming out, there's tons of shadow men.
Those are the easiest things to kill.
Those are tons of shadow men. If you're fighting them like with your sword and trying to shoot them and fight them, I could see you being overwhelmed.
Take a while,
they could hit you because there's so many of them. Not with this fucking spell, because it takes like 2 seconds of being in that fire whirlwind and they're gone. Easiest part of the game.
I didn't try to go through the game without getting killed because the game does not kill you. It just knocks you out and takes away some of your progress.
Yeah. See,
and then you're back on. And you know what? I was pretty fucking lazy. I said, I'm not even going to buy any potions. So I died a few times.
But anyways, I showed Joe with a Balverine pack, and there's the white Balverine and stuff like that. And they tried their best to get to me, but they couldn't.
Yeah.
This spell was by far the most game breaking thing.
See,
for combat.
I used magic a lot personally, but I didn't make that spell. I don't like the. One of the things that I didn't like about Fable 2 was the combat, and 3's swordsmanship, like combat, I don't like either. Like, I don't think it's very good. I think it's
they
kinda
very, very simplified the combat in this game.
I think they improved it over 2's.
I think they improved. Well, 2 was such a simplification of the first game's combat that it was like anyone can play this game, right?
Yeah.
And then 3, I think, improved some of the problems with 2's combat.
Yeah, I do too. I don't like the swords at all. Like I went through and I tried to get as many achievements as I could. So I was doing like the 500 kills with magic, the 500 kills with range, the 500 kills with swords. And the swords one I did last, and I didn't like it because I just get hit all the time. Like when I'm using magic though, I can like throw a firebolt out and like launch backwards, dodge out of the way. I didn't care for the fighting as much. And I got to endgame, and that's when I died. I was doing an optional mission, just waiting for gold to grind out, and I fucking died in the dungeons, the sewers, and I lost it. I lost my achievement.
See, what you needed to do is put all your points into magic and then hover menacingly into the center of all the enemies and just let down a fucking nuke. Just
All right. So
And
the
then they
combat
can't touch
is
you.
pretty much Fable 2, just a little smoother. Do you agree, Cameron?
Yes,
Okay.
and then even for the end boss, like I should probably buy a potion for this, but I didn't. And I went to the end fight, and no troubles. Just fucking
Yeah, easy.
No problem. No problem. Okay. So that's that part of the game. The other part of the game is progression system, which you talked about. Road
the
to
road
Rule.
to rule. Yeah,
The shitty part about Road to Rule, and the thing that I think kind of takes away from the game and takes away from the game as a Fable game, is that it is literally a road. It's like the Crystarium in FF13, where you get to a certain point in the game, then the rest of it opens up and you can spend your points. And you have to spend your points. You can only choose just a few little minor things to go on from there. There's nothing creative about Road to Rule. And when something like that happens, you have to unlock everything also. You can't buy a house until you unlock it in Road to Rule, and that's until like halfway through the game. You can't even start buying houses and start making money, which of course is like the fucking point of the end game, so fuck you, right? And like you can't even buy expressions or anything when you're talking to other villagers, which is most of the fun of Fable is the extra shit, right? And so blocking those systems off till you get to certain points in the story, I thought was ridiculous.
Especially the property buying, because we knew what was ahead.
Especially the property buying. Especially like you can't flirt with people until a certain point. It's ridiculous.
What? Yeah, my guy died in the game. He ended the game as a virgin. Like there was no.
I never had sex.
There was no allure to go do anything
in Fable
else.
2.
In Fable 2, I had like 8 kids. Few
I had like a
STDs.
16-way with like mostly dudes. In Fable 2, I didn't have sex once.
Actually,
in Fable
so I was
3.
looking up. Okay, there's another thing about the gameplay. Is at the beginning they give you a choice of a hammer and a sword, and as you use the sword and the hammer and do things for it, it actually makes the sword look better, makes the hammer look better, and it changes how it deals damage. I looked up to see if there's any other weapons I would be interested in using, and apparently there is a sword in Fable 3 that does a decent amount of damage, but it becomes the best damage dealer in the game when you have a 4-way. And the sword's called the Swinger.
Wow.
Nice.
And so when you do that, have a 4-way and you have the sword, it unlocks an extra tier of damage for it. I couldn't find the sword though.
I didn't buy a single weapon.
Oh, did you guys know that inside your pause menu in your treasury room that there is a chest in there? So the key for the chest is above it in like the candle slot. So what you need to do is you amass a pile of gold so you can grab the key, then you transfer all the gold away to your treasury, and then you can unlock the chest.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I should have done that.
What
Where
was
did
in
you
the
find
chest?
that information
I was
from?
looking online to see what sword I wanted,
Okay.
and it said it could either be in that chest or another chest. And it wasn't in that chest, so I just gave up.
Here's the thing that bugs me as a Fable game about that system, the fucking menu, which is no longer a menu, it's a room where you have to run around in and makes everything take longer. Thank you, by the way, for that stupid decision, guys. I had thought it was a stupid decision. I don't know about you guys.
I had fun for the first couple of times. After that, I'm like, I just want to
change my clothes, and it's like, oh, I have to go into the thing and then run
listen
into
to
the right room.
Listen to the butler's opinion on what I'm picking.
Yes. It's like, Jesus Christ, why is this an aspect of this game? As a Fable, though, the first 2 Fables, all about choice and freedom. And I know it's not as free as an Elder Scrolls game. There's certainly a linear story in there that kind of like trudges you along to new areas and stuff. But at least I can play around and do all this other shit. This game is like, can't do this till this part, can't do this till this part. And then it's like there's no choice involved until the end, and it's all financial decisions. I thought that was lame. I thought that was super. As a Fable game, I thought I was disappointed in that gameplay aspect. Deeply disappointed in that gameplay aspect. Because I started out in the game and like, I want to buy a house. And I was like, I can't buy a house. Road to Rule. You have to unlock this on the Road to Rule. Oh,
I'm like, what is that, like DLC? I'm like, what the
I
fuck?
guess I have nothing to do. Yeah, that's what I thought at the beginning too. Even though I had been on the Road to Rule before, I guess I just didn't like register that it was called the Road to Rule. It was just, I just did not like that aspect. The combat was okay. I mean, it was Fable 2 again, simpler, and then the extra stuff you can do, basically everything you could do in Fable 2, just when you get to a certain point.
Yeah.
The relationship thing was slightly different.
Yeah, I've had sex with the first dirty gypsy I found in Fable 2, and I couldn't in this one.
Yeah.
I did find like a...
You got to do like quests and shit.
Condom of the Gods, though. That was pretty funny.
That was probably...
Condom of the Gods?
Yeah.
There was a more
Didn't use it, though.
complicated aspect to how you react with people. Like if you...
I remember the only
condoms
condoms I had in Fable 2 are the ones I dug up out of the ground.
Yeah, that was the first thing I dug up was a condom. It was after I had sex with the dirty gypsy, too. Like, the first thing my dog barks at was a condom. I'm like, oh, shit, that would have come in handy. My dick's going to fall off.
I got 3 STDs from this one woman. Jeez.
Yeah, she needs to wash, I'll tell you that. But I wasn't able to do that in this one. I tried. The first chick I got to, I was really flirting with her. I got her to like me. I had to go on a date and stuff like that. I'm like, this is too much work. So I just left it.
For me,
I
in
left
Fable
her
2, I married
woods.
the Baroness because I wanted something that was in her room, another chest or something.
Yeah.
And I tried so hard to get her into bed, and nothing worked. So I said, screw it. I married someone in the old village, and then, from there.
I had like 17 STDs in Fable 2, by the way.
How did you gain money at the end of Fable 3?
Okay, so into Fable 3,
you got to gain $6 million.
Yes,
7.1 if you want.
I went into the end game with like 2K gold. So basically, what you do, it becomes a real estate game afterwards. So what you do is there's 400,000 gold in the treasury. You take it all, and you got to start doing stuff that makes people mad at you for right now, but they still love you later. So it doesn't change anything. So you take your gold, take it out of the treasury, and you buy every fucking thing you can buy. And set the rent to very high. It makes them hate you, but that's the fastest way to get gold.
Your brother.
No, but
basically,
so wait for it.
Except that you build some orphan stuff.
And there's also a demon door that has 1 million gold behind it.
But you can only unlock it when you're king.
Correct. And so this is when you're king, so it doesn't matter. Yeah. So you go buy all the property and stuff like that, and then you can do this and keep all your promises to people. You keep your promises. You do good things for people. You rebuild the old town because there's a lot of valuable property that gets put back into the game when you do that. And then from there, it's basically just a waiting game. Oh, yes, and you say yes to the whorehouse. Instead of making a place for homeless people, you make the whorehouse. Everyone's very happy about that, except the person who owns the building. He's the one mad about it. Everyone still cheers. They're still happy about it.
Did you go in and...
I didn't go in there.
Damn.
It's not a place.
I hear that. I hear that's
I made
an easy
the
way.
homeless shelter.
I hear that's an easy way to get the swinger sword to unlock its
Nice.
the foursome. So
I didn't build the whorehouse. I built all the good stuff. What I did end game. This is where my rage will come in. So I was doing a lot of blacksmith because blacksmith to me is the easiest of the mini games, and I got a pretty good amount of gold. Now there was one day I had about 2.5 hours to play Fable before work. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go in. I'm going to spend time grinding out gold now. Because then, like, when I buy all the properties as I play the game, I'll start amassing a fortune, and then that'll make the end game a lot easier. So I go in, and I think I had about 49,000 gold earned in blacksmithing, which is a shitload, right? I had been doing a lot of blacksmith. I went in, and I was like, I want to buy everything right next to blacksmith in this first town. And there's some expensive shit in there, right? There's some really expensive shit. I got it to 156,000, and then suddenly, for the first time in years, power surge in my house. Just quick, off, on. Off, right back on again. I'm like, oh shit. Did I save? The answer was no, because the game doesn't save like Fable 2 did every 2 seconds. The game doesn't care about you. I go back in, all of that is gone. I have a moment of pure rage, throw some shit around, kick some shit. Then I sit back down, I'm like, all right, I'm just going to do it. I grind my way back up to where I was at. I go to work, everything's fine. I come back the next day, and I put the game in, and I'm getting ready to stream. I sit down. The Xbox is right here because it's got to connect to the fucking Elgato, right? I bump the Xbox with my foot. The Xbox tips on its side, lands kind of hardish, and the disc just starts freaking out inside. It's like, and I open it up, and I pull the disc out, and it is deeply gouged, like fucking deep. And I'm like, oh shit, I don't know if this game is going to play. And I was worried because I ground out some more gold before the stream.
And some disc.
And yeah, I ground out some more gold before the stream, and I was like, shit, maybe if I put the disc back in, it'll like load it again, and I won't lose the gold I just ground out. So I put the disc back in, and I move a cord, and the cord bumps the fucking power switch because the cord is enough, and it turns it off, so the gold is gone. The gold is gone. Again, I lose the gold. The next fucking day, gold is out. I'm like, fuck. And I'm getting really mad right now, and I'm like, fuck this. Okay, it's fine. It wasn't as much as yesterday. I'll be okay. I turn it on. The game loads up, and it's like in the loading menu, and it just freezes. It just freezes over and over, and I'm like, shit, and I pull it out, and I'm like, these are pretty deep gouges. Like, this is kind of serious shit right here. Like, I don't think it's going to play, so I, like, wipe it off, make it kind of nice, prime it up. Game still won't play, so, like, on the stream, I just break the disc in half and chuck it, and then I end the stream, and I go buy it digitally. And the worst part, Jake just barely, like 5 minutes after I start playing the downloaded version, he's like, yeah, I was just at like Family Dollar. Not a place I would ever go, obviously, but he was there, and there was a copy of Fable 3 for $5 fucking, but I bought it for $20 digitally. Yeah. I'm like, this is a fucking nightmare. This game is cursed, man. Fucking power surge, fucking digital copy. The Xbox is the weakest thing in the world. Like, what is the disc tray in there? What puss machine is this? Like the PS3, I could throw it, man, and the disc would be fine. This thing, no. This thing's a bitch.
Man. I fucking watched your little stream where you broke the disc, and then right as I watched that, Jake was like, "Hey, I just found a copy of Fable for like $5." Dude, you should tell Schweiss. He'd be so fucking pissed. He just bought it digitally.
I spent $20 on the last like 20 or 5 hours of the game.
I can't one-up you, but I had some similar experiences. This is
Christ.
why in the middle of the week we were going back and forth saying this game is cursed. The first thing that happened was when I first popped in Fable 3, the disc didn't work, and I had to buy another copy of Fable 3.
Oh, so we just like our Fable 3, like we should have bought stock?
Yeah, we should have bought stock in
probably.
Fable 3. And then after that, when I got to the end game shit, I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave this Xbox on and just let my guy sit there and earn some gold because there's no countdown. It says you have 365 days left. There's no countdown on the days.
Yeah, it's just a standard day.
It's
like
just
you end the day
saying,
when you finish all your tasks.
Yeah, when you go through, you finish the task, and that's just that day, and you have 3 sections, and that's it.
Yeah.
There's no actual counting down on the days, so I don't even know why the fuck that's part of the thing. Anyway, so when I realized that, I was like, okay, I guess I can just sit here and let all my rental property just give me a bunch of money. So I came down here last weekend thinking that my guy was earning gold that entire time. And he was earning gold for at least a chunk of it. I got back home, and then I looked, and the Xbox was not on. There was a person in my house who thought that I had accidentally left the Xbox on and turned it off. And so that was number one. That was nice. And that was 2 nights. I stayed over here for an entire day.
Yeah. You know
and
what,
I just wanted to see what the number
property
was gonna
deteriorates in this game.
It's
you
true.
have to repair it.
The rental
but not
does,
all of it
but
does,
not the
yeah.
shops.
Yeah, those.
So
you
I would have
probably
still
had
been
it.
making about 50,000 every 5 minutes. So now I was like, fine, whatever the fuck. I don't give a shit.
Shit happens, Mom.
All right, and then I was like, fine, whatever. I'll deal with that. Shut the fuck up, twice.
Xbox.
I play Legend of Zelda. I marathon that baby on Monday. And before I start the marathon, I turn on the Xbox and start Fable 3 to do the same thing again. This is on the stream. I get off of Zelda. I look into Fable 3. I'm in the menu area, by the way. I didn't realize this was a thing. I go in to hover over a house just to see how much money I had, because that's an easy way to find out how much money you have. I had 9,000 gold. And I was like, fuck. I just played Zelda for 8 hours. That could have been 8 hours of my guy sitting there earning money in his goddamn sleep. But because I was in the menu, that you, of course, is a active menu that you walk through, is bullshit.
Time pauses. So.
Time stops.
Yeah. You know what the worst part is, though? Do you have a plug for your controller?
Here's the next thing about the plug for my controller.
Oh, third one. Oh, shit.
The next day, I come into the house and I'm like, I'm just going to turn this Xbox on and just let it go. Come into the house and the Xbox won't turn on. And I'm freaking out. And I'm looking up, like, what does the orange light mean? What does the red light mean? Apparently, the red light means that the thing is overheated. So I unplug the Xbox for a while, come back in, go back in. The orange light is just standby mode, so it doesn't mean anything. I'm pressing the button for the Xbox, and it's making this is a Gears of War Xbox, so it's making like some Gears of War sound when I'm pressing the on button on. But the thing's not lighting up, and the Xbox isn't turning on. I'm freaking out. I'm trying my regular controller, trying my wireless controller to like press the middle button to see if it would do anything. And I'm like, I think my Xbox is broken. I'm fucking mad because I have to review this game on Sunday, and I might have to like delay it, get someone's Xbox, and play the entire game again. I was not happy at that moment. And then just randomly, I look at the cord for the controller, and I see that the cat had chewed.
Wasn't that for the power strip, though?
No, this wasn't for the power strip. This was for the controller of the Xbox. This is what's crazy. I unplug that controller port, which I had it unplugged the entire time, and the Xbox turns on.
You know what the sick part is, though? Without that controller, the game will pause itself when the controller turns off. So you have to have a corded controller if you're going to wait and let go of the mass.
Well, I didn't have a fucking cord, so I had to spend $20 2 days ago to buy that goddamn cord.
And then let the game sit.
Yeah,
see,
this game was cursed, dude.
And see, I got to endgame, and I hadn't died at all. And I didn't die on the final boss or the final area or nothing. I died in the fucking sewers like a dog trying to get an extra mission done while I was waiting for my gold to amass. I died honorably, but I didn't get the 50 gamer score for beating the game without dying, and I'm pissed because Joe fucking could have if he wouldn't have sucked in the first half of the game and died. And it's just because I was trying to be an honest fucking man and play the game, I got fucked. And I got fucked thrice with the stupid game itself and this Xbox. And
this game is cursed.
It is.
So we're letting you guys know, unless your name is Cameron Wilson, if you get this game...
Oh, well, we don't know yet. Schweiss did curse Cam that he would die by the end of the week.
I just said it would happen.
Oh, shit.
It's past the end of the week.
Should have brought that up when Cameron was an hour late.
It's a
like, where the fuck is
It's
he?
a postal week.
Is he dead?
So the week. Oh wait, shit! It's the end of that week too.
Yeah, it's the end of the week, so I didn't die. So false.
Snopes said
like
it's a
the
lie.
Weekend. So it was 7 days, I think he said.
No, you said you'll die at the end of the week. So I'm still here. Game's not cursed.
Yeah, Cameron was freaking out the whole time. He was going to see like psychics and shit.
Yeah, he told me to take it back, and so I figured he was. Take it back.
Take it back.
It's too late. It's prophecy.
Don't put that on me.
God.
Don't put that evil on me.
I was thinking about like talking to Schweiss and Joe separately and being like, hey, should we just pretend that Cam's like not here on the episode? It's like he just died because Schweiss cursed him.
Just don't acknowledge.
Yeah.
That would have been funny.
What do you give gameplay out of 10?
I'm going to give it a 7.
7 out of 10. Pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
You
was
don't
solid.
seem to have as many problems as I do. You're not. No.
No, I mean
You're
it
fine
was
with it?
solid. It was solid until I broke it, but yeah.
So were those little jobs you do to earn gold? You can only
do
upgrade them through
the road to rule. Yeah.
So you can't just upgrade them by doing
No.
By
the job
skill?
normally.
No.
That's fucking retarded.
Yeah, it was. Kinda
Also,
dumb.
what's retarded is the lag on the Xbox sometimes. with
Oh,
those
yeah,
games.
you fucking think?
Yeah, I do think.
I'm
I
balls deep.
I saw it happen to you too, and I was like, okay, it's not.
And I
just
was
me.
like, I said on the stream, I was like, "Okay, the game's lagging." I'm like, I know I sound like Craig right now, I'm making excuses,
Dude,
but I
it's the
swear to God,
game.
and it is. It lags so hard, and like It takes 10
Fucking people.
fucking processes to get to the max amount of gold, and then the game is like too retarded. The Xbox is too much of a piece of shit to read the game, so it's like, and then you fuck up, and then you start back at level 1, and you're getting no gold. It's fucking bullshit.
Anyone who thought the 360 was better than PS3, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, go to hell. I'm going to give gameplay an 8, though.
You're good. Oh wow. Okay.
I think the gameplay is pretty solid. I'm dropping 1 for frame rate, and I'm dropping 1 for the battle system not being perfect, but being pretty good. I like the property management in this one more than in 3 or 2, but I don't like
Do you
how
like having
you
to go
have to
repair
wait.
it? Do you like having to go repair?
Yeah,
all
I
the
think that's a
houses all the
cool.
time?
I think that's a cool.
Yeah, but
aspect.
they degrade so fast.
Yeah, the House of Filth.
I mean, you
degrades
could if you go to your
instantly.
menu and look at all your houses, you can go look at them from and sell them from your menu. That was cool, but still, you have to go to.
What if they
every
degrade
single
faster
one.
depending on who lives there?
Kick them out and have a new tenant go in.
I liked that system. What I don't like is that you have to be in game for the gold to accumulate. I loved Fable 2's like.
Cheap.
Yeah, because I would log. After I beat the game, that had me coming back because I wanted to buy the castle. I was like, I need to save up for the castle, so I'd log in every day and a half or so, and I'd like get my
so
300K.
you didn't just change your Xbox internal clock to the furthest time away.
No,
you could
I didn't mess
save
with
it
that.
and
I
go
just-
back in and just have millions of gold.
I logged in and I bought everything I could see, and then I logged off. It was like my dailies. I was doing Final Fantasy 14 at the same time, so like I added that to my list of dailies, and I'd go through and I'd do that until I got the achievement for having like 2 million worth of housing, which I got in like 10 minutes in this one. So that was nice.
Well, I'm giving it a 6.
Okay,
And I still don't love the combat system. It's the same as Fable 2.
I think it's a
and
lot better than Fable 2.
It's better than Fable 2's, but not a point better.
It's not a Fable
in my
1
mind.
battle system, though, which is sad.
Also, what makes me kind of sad is the linearity of the game drives me nuts. The fact that I couldn't do things in the game. And then I was forced to do a bunch of property shit, which I liked as an extra thing in Fable 2. And just the amount of things that I wanted to do and wanted to explore just went to almost zero. In this
I didn't really
game.
have a desire to go.
So it
do
was like,
things
oh,
beyond
I'll
the
go
first-
through the campaign and whatever. So I didn't love it. It was fine, but I don't know. I'm giving it it's somewhere. I was bouncing between a 6 and a 7, but I think I'm going with a 6. I guess maybe a point of disappointment factor. You know,
Right.
Right. That's sad. Design though.
Design
Art
wise,
design. Look at the game.
I think it looks good. Trying to remember it compared to Fable 2. How much has the city changed between Fable 2 and Fable 3? Like the layout and the look of it.
The look of it has changed quite a bit.
And this was supposed to be 50
It's
years.
supposed to be 50 years after. And remember, like, some of the technology, I think it's supposed to be, like, slightly better.
But like even the layout of the city and the houses that exist, those are different too, I'm pretty sure.
It's also not as... The feel of it is not as dark and dingy as Fable 2 was. Of course, that was part of the Fable 2 story, though. It was a more dark game
Right.
in that respect. I think that the game looks a lot better than Fable 2. Like, a lot. Graphically, there's a lot more detail. It's a lot more interesting. Thought the lighting effects were a lot better as well.
Yeah, definitely more technology behind.
Yeah.
behind
How
it.
long after the second one did it come out?
Just a couple of years. I don't know.
I feel like the second one was like near the beginning of the Xbox 360.
In that case, it'd probably be like 5 years, but I haven't looked up the dates. So if you want to look those up, you can. It does look a lot better. In my opinion, it looks a lot better. That was one of the first things I noticed. I was like, oh, Fable 2 was kind of an ugly game. Oddly. Fable 1 for the Xbox was not an ugly game. But for the Xbox 360, Fable 2, I think, was an ugly game. And it wasn't quite all there. But Fable 3, I thought, was like rounded out, and it still kind of got that cartoony look of the other games, but it's just
Yeah.
I just thought it just overall it looked a lot
Design-wise,
better.
And I like the look of the treasure room. I think design gets an 8 for me.
It's an 8.
Yeah.
What's the 2 taken away?
Design, I'm going to have to stick the pause menu in design. And
Art design?
just the design of the game. And a design
Wouldn't that be in
choice.
gameplay?
That would be a gameplay.
I don't know, man. I mean, there was a design
It's 100%
choice to the game.
The pause menu being a playable thing.
That's a gameplay.
Is a gameplay.
But as a
We're not
design
talking
choice
about- we're
to
not
make
talking about design,
as a design
game
choice
design.
to make a pause menu
We've
a
talked about this
playable
before.
part of the game.
The reason I'm calling it art design now is so that you aren't confused when you're doing this category. And you're
Anyways.
still doing it. It's fine. It's fine. You can take your points
Because
away there.
you can make design choices on things, but yeah, it's going to get an 8 from me. I just remembered something I wanted to mention before, but I'll wait till later.
Go ahead.
No, it's just that you're the master treasury in the castle, and he's snide remarks about whenever you'd make a certain choice that wasn't greedy. It just made me want you like, you could just transfer your personal funds. I wanted to throw them in the fucking pile of gold that I had there.
I know you're rich.
Throw them in the fucking pile of gold that's there. That's great and vast. To just dump my personal funds on
That was
top
all
of them.
me. Oh,
You fucking want gold? Here, have some gold. Be like
Socialist piece of shit.
a Khal Drogo moment of pouring molten gold over him. Here's some fucking gold. Take it.
Shit.
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah,
I think the
anyways.
game looks great, and I love the look of Fable. I like that sort of cartoony-esque design of it, and this is the best version of that. Only thing I think was kind of lacking is the pre-rendered stuff didn't look that great.
Yeah.
Which, for me, I guess I'm spoiled by Final Fantasy, but that's enough to knock it a point for me. I'm going to give art design a 9 out of 10.
Nice.
I'll give it a 9 as well. I think the game looks great. I didn't really have any weird glitches. There was one time I saw the back of my guy's eyes, which is always a freaky moment in a game. But other than that,
I didn't have any problems like that.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
There weren't any issues. I liked the design of the bad guys, the darkness. Those dudes were really cool looking. I don't know. I like the world. I think it was a rich environment. I think it was cool to look at. I mean, it's all very linear in a way with Fable. Like when you're walking through the certain areas, there's a treasure on the left, there's a treasure on the right. There's a dig spot. It's all like a hallway for a lot of the game, to be completely honest. But I like the way it looks.
One thing I found out: if you spend too much time in the main city, your dog freaks out. He just chases his tail continuously.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
He'll just chase and bark and won't stop until you leave the town.
I couldn't figure out how to fetch in that game.
Oh, it's easy. Just go up, interact with him, and you can give him a pet and throw the ball.
And then I have to throw the ball.
Yeah.
But then nothing happens.
Sometimes he'd go chase it. Sometimes he wouldn't.
Oh,
It's up
he
to him.
never chased it. It was just
Sometimes
am I
he'd
doing
sit there.
this wrong?
Sometimes he'd sit there for a solid moment, and then kind of go run off in the bushes a little bit, and then he'd be done. He was. He was a lazy dog this time. Oh, also another thing, you can actually change the breed of your dog too.
Yeah, you could do that in
Yeah.
Fable too.
In your little pause.
Did you
menu.
do it?
No,
I didn't touch it.
Oh, you did it in the
Thank
menu too?
Yeah.
God damn it. Fuck that, dude. All the time in the menu. And it's a lot of time in a menu that's not a menu. It
Yeah, it's weird.
takes even longer. I mean, I love hearing John Cleese talk to me. I love that. Love that character. Don't love that menu system. I don't know who thought that was a good idea, and they stuck with it. Drives me nuts.
It's a novel idea at the very least.
Yeah, an interesting idea, but terrible to execute.
Sound and music. I am halfway loving this category and halfway not loving this category.
So a 5.
Here's the deal. I think the voice acting, many of these people being very well-known stars, fantastic voice acting. And a lot of good character work that kind of helps the world build. And apparently there was 40 hours of voice work in this game.
Damn.
So we haven't even
that
touched
it took
any
only
of it.
10 to
Right?
play it.
And so that part of sound and music is very impressive.
Yeah, that's more than the worked on all of the Elder Scrolls games combined. 40 people.
I don't know about that.
Look it up. I was kidding.
Wait, you mean there's 40 people doing the voices in this? Oh, okay, because Elder Scrolls has 3 people doing 50,000 lines.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The entire Elder Scrolls series has less paid voice actors than Fable 3.
A huge
The difference between Oblivion and Skyrim is like two people.
a huge part of what I love about the Fable universe is the world and the people that occupy it. It's not just like little NPCs. They're like interesting. Even if they are just kind of like die-cast NPCs, at least they're fun and funny and interesting, and all the different voices and all the different things they say.
Right.
I love that, and all the voice was so good in this game. However, the music, which is the other aspect of sound, not bad, but once again, comparing it to the other two games that had, like, Danny Elfman scored one of them, or at least the main theme of one of them, and that was used a lot. And then the second game, of course, had the music box thing and the theme that played in the music box, which is the main Fable theme in a different way.
That was great, yeah.
Great music.
That was cool.
Can't remember a goddamn thing about the music in this game.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm trying to think back right now. Nothing.
The
And
only thing-
the music box was in Fable 3 for like a minute.
Yeah, it was there for a
It
second.
didn't even play the music.
No, and
I was ready for it.
You handed it away to the mountain people, and the one big dude just shakes it around a little bit and then puts it away.
So I'm disappointed in the music. I guess it wasn't bad. It certainly wasn't annoying, right?
No.
Otherwise, it would say something, but it wasn't special, and the other two games had special scores. So I'm giving this a timid 7 out of 10 for sound and music. 5 out of 10 for the sound and the world and the people talking and the voice acting. The music, I'm giving it 3 out of 10 because don't remember it, but I didn't like
There
it.
was
Didn't not like it.
a moment there. I don't know if it's just a hardware issue with the Xbox, but for me, it seemed like during the arena phase with Reaver that the sound lagged a little bit, for me at least. And that's probably why I'm going to give it a 7 out of 8 because the sound started
Out of 8?
mismatching. 7 out of 10, sorry.
Or Famitsu crack.
Voice acting, like you said, is incredible. I still hate Reaver's guts and the way he was talking. Just don't like him.
I love him. I think he's the coolest character.
I wanted to
He's like all pissing on the poor.
You are the first one to die. But no, can't kill him. He's too important for that.
Yeah. I think... Yeah, I'll give it a 7 as well. I think the music was fine. It never really stood out as too much, but it never stood out at all, to be honest. Like, the only thing I can remember is like the Fable theme. They're like, oh, that's the only piece of music from 3 that I can recall, and that's because I've heard it for the last 3 Fable games. But that's it. The voice acting I did think was fantastic, as per usual. Everybody was spot on. All the characters felt like they had a voice that went with them. I know that's kind of like combining sound with design, but I think they did a great job with the casting, and I think everybody did a great job with the voice acting roles. I mean, sure, Michael Fassbender is a great actor, but I mean, I think I think there are plenty of great actors that have done shitty voice acting jobs, like
Yeah, that's true.
in Destiny. The fucking Peter Dinklage shitty job at the original one.
And then here
I
comes
don't know
Craig's
about
defense. Here's Craig's defense. They told him to sound like a robot.
Well, they did, and I didn't mind it. Like, I don't know what your problem with it is.
Well, we didn't play the
and
version.
you guys didn't even hear it, so you don't even know.
I heard it.
I've listened to it.
Yep.
We didn't hear it in the game.
The final gameplay
I
category.
missed Dinklebot.
Replayability. Schweiss?
In a world where I had all the time, I would probably replay it just to try to get the achievement for not dying that I was cheated out of. But that's probably it. I would probably zoom through it just to get that, and I would do all the evil shit, not gain any money, let everybody die, be the only man alive. I'm going to give replayability... It's going to hurt it, but 4.
4 out of 10.
Yeah, it's not... It doesn't have the same draw as some of the other Fables. And even if it did, I don't know if I'm going to replay the other ones as it is, and I don't like this one as much. So, in some categories, I don't know. I don't think I'll come back to it unless I really, really had time.
Cameron?
There's nothing to come back to in this game. There's no extra things that you wanted to explore. There's no extra weapons you want to go find because the weapons you start with are basically
that
the only thing
swinger?
you need. I mean, I might for funsies go find the swinger, but really for me, replayability is going to be a 2 because I really don't intend on coming back to this game. So It's done.
I expected to have the lowest replayability score, but I guess I don't, because I was like, I'm going to give it a 3. And the reason I give it a 3 is because I didn't hate the game.
I mean, that's nothing.
And I might
hate it. But
I might replay all 3 of the Fables again. That might be something fun
if
to
that's
do.
something that you do. Yeah,
But other than that reason, I would never pick up this game again.
no,
and
there's no reason to.
you already do all the extra shit to get the end game done.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like I would have gone like crazy on the real estate, maybe had like a kid or two, right?
Yeah.
But it fucking blocks you off like crazy, and then
Yeah.
forces you to do a huge chunk of what
It
would
makes
be
you
really
work
fun.
for the sex. That's ridiculous.
And it's like, why come back to it? You know? So, look, everyone told me that. Well, not me in particular, but I was told I read many times that this was the
bad
stinker.
Fable. Yeah.
And I hoped that it wouldn't be true. Unfortunately, it totally is true. This game is not nearly as good as the other 2 games. Even standing on its own is just kind of a messy, clunky thing.
Yeah, it could have beaten
It's
Fable 2,
Fine.
but the gameplay wasn't strong enough to carry it through.
I wouldn't call it a bad game, but it's certainly not
61.
not the quality that I'm used to in this series.
Yeah, and I've heard the same thing too. I've heard Fable 3 is not as good as the others, and for the first little bit, I was like, "That's not true at all." But then I got into it a little more, and I was like, "Yeah, I can kind of see it. Like it's just a little bit. It's just a little bit less is all." And there was a funny moment though. I started the stream up, and like 10 minutes in, I was in a chicken suit baking pies, and Abrac came into the stream, and he's like, "What the fuck is happening?" And I just started laughing because I was like, "That would be kind of weird." You're like, "What the fuck?" Like, it's a man and a giant chicken man making pies. So there's a lot
The
of fun.
ultimate game.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought chickens were going to be so much more of a point in this game because of the huge epic cutscene that featured a
Well,
chicken.
the loading screen is
Yeah.
a chicken as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the chicken's not as many chasing of the chickens in this game. There's one quest, but
I disagree. There's a lot of chicken.
There's
in this
one
game.
chicken chaser quest that I tried to do for money. I gave up because I couldn't find
Then
one
you
fucking
race
chicken.
chickens.
I
oh yeah,
couldn't-
racing chickens.
Yeah.
I did that. That was fun.
Then the little fucking stupid D&D thing that you had to go do, and then made me
Damn
be
straight.
turned into a miniature and save the cardboard princess.
Oh yeah. Almost died there too.
So the humor is still in this game. That's that's the biggest thing that I appreciate. If it wasn't there, I would hate this game, frankly. But that part of the world, totally there and totally.
So
love
did you do the thing where you had to go find the guy's chickens?
Yeah.
Where were they?
The dog leads you to him.
Yeah, the dog tells you where
My
they're
dog
at.
was fucking stuck in a loop where he's chasing his tail. So
You got a dud.
I'm like, where are these?
Yeah, you got a bad
I'm
dog.
like, I'm like, where are the fucking
Go
chickens?
return the dog.
I was
Gotta
saying,
take it back to the dog
I
shop.
went through that whole fucking town looking for one fucking chicken, and my dog the whole time just.
They were all in groups of 3 for me. It only took
I
like
could
5
not
minutes.
find a single chicken, so I gave up.
And I kept the chicken's outfit on for most of the game after that point.
I did too.
There is an achievement for sentencing your brother with the chicken suit on, and I didn't have it on because the game made me change. And I was like, fuck, I forgot about that.
That's too good.
Yeah. Also, sadly, I also have more gamer score than Dylan does now. I don't even have a 360.
Nice.
Yeah, Dylan's a Nintendo
Cash.
kid, so
Yeah. He doesn't have any points.
All right. So the scores are as follows. Or Cameron, you got any last words about this game?
Any last words?
Is that an answer?
No, this sounded like we were gonna say any last words before we execute it. Have its final
Put it up
word.
at the
Basically-
guillotine.
It's kind of
But,
what we're trying to do.
No, it's is what it is. You gotta play it just to play it to end the series.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Unless
it's
there's another one.
I think it's a fine game.
And rumors of another one.
I think it's worth playing if you've played Fable 1 and 2. I wouldn't start with Fable 3, obviously, but yeah, I think it's a fine investment. It's it's not a very long game, so that's kind of nice, but the end game grind was kind of drawn out, and I think there's a couple things they could have done a lot better, and I think they have done better in the past, which makes it kind of a surprise that they went in the direction they did. But yeah, I think it's worth a play.
Okay.
But yeah,
I would say only if you want to go through all 3 Fables. Otherwise, just ignore it. Play Fable 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Story, I gave it a 6. Cameron gave it a 6. And Schweiss gave it a 6. Now, only mine and Cameron's scores are counting because it's our game. Schweiss is the extra, as it were. Gameplay, I gave it a 6. Cameron gave it a 7. And Schweiss gave it an 8. Art design, I gave it a 9. Cameron gave it an 8. And Schweiss gave it a 9. Sound and music, 7s all around. Replayability, I gave it a 3. Cameron gave it a 2. And Schweiss gave it a 4. So my score is 31 out of 50. Cameron's score is 30 out of 50. And Schweiss's score, a little bit more positive, 36 out of 50. The official Nude Clan score, 61 out of 100.
I think this just proves that Schweiss is nicer to games than he should be.
Well, Metacritic has it at an 80 out of 100, so I'm just as nice as I need to be. Mine's a 72.
Metacritic has been wrong before, so.
We're the only true
Yeah, Bounty Hunter. God damn it.
Oh, come on. It wasn't that high.
Such bullshit.
Just let it season. It's like a nice wine. It stages well.
Anyway, our next game review is going to be the South Park, The Fractured Butthole.
Who's playing that with me?
That'll be in 2 weeks.
It's Cam.
It's me.
Do you have it?
I have it, yeah.
No. I was going to let you borrow mine, but I guess
He
you
has
have
it.
Oh, you could have fucking told me that already. But yeah.
I've been done with it for weeks. So.
Damn. Shit. Fuck. Because I used my gift card to get it too.
Return it.
Could I? I haven't played it.
Turn it, get
Have you
cash.
opened it? Did you? Where'd you get it?
Well, digital download.
On the PSN store?
Yeah.
If you haven't played a single moment of it, you can return it.
I have not played a single moment of it.
But I think you have to call customer support.
Damn it. Talk to people.
Yeah.
Physically.
So it'll take like 2 hours.
There's
to
a
return
reason
the
why I
game.
buy digitally.
So I have to look him in the eye.
No. I'll see. I'll think about it.
Well, you got to think pretty fucking fast, like today.
Give me your
before you
copy,
leave.
and I can make the choice.
I guess that works too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, that's going to be it for Nude Clan today. Thank you so much for listening. Please check out our website at nudeclan.net. The show is, of course, supported by our wonderful patrons as well as people who click through our Amazon link. It's a good way of doing it. Just go to nudeclan.net, see the Amazon banner. Make that your new Amazon bookmark when you're checking out on the store. It doesn't work for the phone site, but it does work for the desktop site. And to be honest, you make better choices when you shop online on your desktop than you do on your phone. Let's be real here, okay?
Agreed, yeah.
All right, so just go through there, and we'll get a small kickback, and it won't cost you anything, and we really appreciate it. You can find the show at Nude Clan Podcast on Twitter and on Instagram, although haven't quite figured out the Instagram yet. You can follow me at Joseph DeGolier.
Me at Obsidian Bomb.
Me at Nude Clan Cam.
Me at UFF Podcast.
And check out our other shows, Ultima Final Fantasy. Check out the Godzilla podcast if you like old kaiju movies, produced by Toho. And we're going to have a War of the Gargantuas episode coming out soon. Check out as well the Puff Puff Hour, a Dragon Quest podcast, which is our newest show on the network. And I believe Jake is trying to resurrect Super Sexy swinging fan fiction.
Yeah, it's going to be a... Yeah.
It's
Just
going to be
accept
a,
that
yeah.
it's dead.
Guys, leave us an iTunes review. We'll read it on the show.
Yeah, we're going to have to give away another movie here in a little
We
while.
are going to have to give away another
We haven't
movie.
had one in a while.
We had a lot of delays.
Oh, I wonder
Did
why.
we?
You know, guys, fuck off, okay? I at least showed up for most of the episodes.
I never delayed.
Because I was going to say I might not be there. I did say that. But instead I was here.
I was going to
Just
say...
didn't get the games done.
You weren't here for one of those ones, though.
You're right. I was not here for one of those. You know what? Fuck off.
That's all right. It was
Craig-
also the game that only I beat.
Craig gave me shit for it too, and I had to explain to him what my schedule was and the reason I didn't play the goddamn game.
Dude, I was giving you shit.
Stop giving me shit for that.
He doesn't understand.
I know he doesn't understand. He was getting
It's
really
that
pissed
Asperger's.
off. I was like, dude, he's like, I didn't have any time. I had to wake up at 5 and then go to work at 7, and then I got home at 7, and then I had to go to bed at 8. And I was like, that sounds like 3 hours that you could have played.
Fuck off. Jesus Christ. See you guys next week.
Enjoy the nude.
May the list go on.
Live always in the nude.
I say this from the bottom of my heart, Craig. Fuck off.
Thank you.
Game over, man. Game over. What are we gonna do now? Too bad you will die.
Living is not to dread. How about a nice game?